Come on, Dougie. Come to Jack and get the bone. Come to Jack and get the bone. Good boy. This bone's much nicer than those rusty old keys. Look, I'll try a bit first. I know what you're thinking. That dog is never going to move. Therefore, I propose a wager. Let us see if I can lure him over faster. Then you can take the keys from his mouth and let me out. The winner gets this delicious bone. Don't say much, do you? Very wise. When endeavoring an escape, silence is generally best. However, as I've had no one but a recalcitrant mutt to talk to for far too long, I shall bow to my collegial nature and introduce myself. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Though, since you came here to rescue me, you probably knew that already. And you must have heard tell of my heroic journey to acquire this, the greatest pirate treasure of all. A golden key to other lands, in eternal freedom, plundered from the lair of a heartless squid and used to assist in the daring escape that led me to stand before you now. Shiny, isn't it? You know, I haven't had so much as a crumb to eat since I got here. Not completely sure where here is exactly, but it's sorely lacking in dinner options. I'm a shadow of my former self. Then again, the captain seems a dreary sort of fellow. Probably enjoys dried biscuits. Wouldn't even tell me how I came to be aboard this sad little ship. The last thing I remember was standing at the helm of the Pearl as we made our escape. Suddenly, there was a loud, booming, cannonballing sort of noise. A cannonball, perhaps. The scenery's not very inspiring, but it's good to stretch me legs. Now, let's get off this ship before...
Stay where you are!
that happens.
You, from the living world. Why have you interfered with my work? The selfish actions of this Sparrow have brought catastrophe in his wake. Dire fortune that now threatens to consume the Sea of Thieves itself.
That's Captain Jack Sparrow, mate. And I think you may be overreacting just a smidge. I know the true worth of what I possess, and I intend to keep it quite safe. Now, I can see you're very busy and very grumpy, so we'll just be on our way.
Silence! You shall be returned to your cell. And this time, the key shall be cast overboard into the abyss. What you possess must never be permitted. See the folly of your actions? Already the sands of time have trickled into oblivion and we are discovered. He has found us. They have our scent now. We cannot flee. Therefore, we must fight. To arms!
Steady, mate. That's the Flying Dutchman we're talking about. She's no ordinary ship.
Then upon the waves of my domain, she will find herself well matched. Play your part, pirates! The cannons stand ready! Unleash the fury of the dead upon this interloper, that we might put an end to calamity before it begins!
I believe that means he'd like us to use the guns.
They mean to board us! Defend the ship, or all is lost!
And what do you suggest I defend her with, mate? I forgot to bring the bone!
Oh, very well. Take my blade while I steady our course. A dead man's sword for a dead man's hand.
Oi! Treasure! It's gone! Change course! Change course! After that treasure! I gave her my word!
Destroy them! Get him!
Oops!
Bring up me hearties! Yo-ho!
Keep still! Stud. What? The key!
Well, good now,
can't
you
be.
swabbies.
No,
what be I
not
offered
again.
for this hearty?
Tisn't fair.
Everyone an egg layer.
Treasure be mine.
Now, you scurved lover.
He's heading into the jail. This time, we've got him cornered.
You'll always remember this as the day that you almost caught. Rascals and scoundrels, villains and knaves, drink up, me hearties, yo-ho! A toast to piracy and its many shiny rewards. I humbly accept this magnificent treasure as my reward for a life of villainy, larceny, skullduggery, and persnickety. Drink up, me hearties, yo-ho! I got a jar of dirt, I got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it?
Enough.
Hard to starboard.
Hard to starboard! Send his beloved pal back to the depths.
One by one, tentacles wrap around my ship. The crew watches helpless as I stare into the Kraken's maw. The lovely Elizabeth weeping for the life we'll never share. And young Turner brought to his knees by my heroic display of self-sacrifice.
Abandoned ship. Abandoned ship or abandoned book.
Hello, BC. I whisper with such an air of determination that the Kraken itself understands exactly who it's for. I suppose I could have been worse and let it slither back into the depths, had it not scuffed the paint of my precious black pearl.
Jack Sparrow. Our debt is settled.
Now, as to what happened next, that's the tale to be told by a man whose thirst's been quenched.
In ye go! But try and keep out of trouble.
Ho. It's all right. They're with me. Don't tell me you're here to rescue me. Considering the success of your previous efforts, or lack thereof, pardon me if I decline your assistance forthwith. Besides, I'm not presently in need of rescuing. This is the first place I've found here where everyone appreciates my uniqueness. And no one's tried to lock me up. So, pull up a chair, grab a glass, because I have an eternity of stories to tell. Oi, you have my compass. But I left that back on the... Oh, so you found the pearl, eh? Well, don't think that's going to drag me out of here. From what I hear, this so-called Sea of Thieves is nothing but cursed crews, the blasted trading companies, and antisocial skeletons. Oh yes, and now one Davy Jones. I've done searching already, Savvy. There's nothing there for me.
I'm afraid you're wrong, Jack Sparrow.
That's Captain Jack Sparrow, mate.
No, I don't think so. A captain doesn't abandon his ship or his crew.
And just whose moustache do I have the dubious pleasure of addressing?
Sir Arthur Pendragon, captain of the Black Witch. It was pirates like this that helped me when I lost my crew, and my hope along with them. They reminded me that our Sea of Thieves is a special place. A place where you can be a pirate and a good man.
A place where anything's possible. Even falling in love with this idiot.
Where we're stronger together. Somewhere worth fighting for.
A place where we need nothing more than the open waves and a ship beneath our feet. A place we can be free.
What a ship is freedom. Well, now that you're all finished, I'll be taking my compass back. If you'd be so kind. What I want most. Funny. Seems to be pointing outside.
Wait! For luck.
Not sure I deserve that. The Sea of Thieves, eh? Bring me that horizon. Not a bad little ship, though she does seem a bit light on essentials. Hammocks, pillows, my own personal cabin. But never mind that. Let us return to the land of the living. To the Sea of Thieves. Quick as you like. Chop, chop. When I said, bring me that horizon, what I really meant was, bring me any horizon, or else I'm going back to my mates, mate. This is one of those moments you're not soon to forget. I, on the other hand, have forgotten it already. Sailing back from the land of the dead. I'm starting to make a habit of it. Being a pirate used to be much simpler. Time was I could go an entire day without pondering the mystical, imaginal, or phantasmal. This will make for an excellent story. Some folks may even believe it. I would appear to still be dead. Bit disconcerting, that. But not as much as the thought of there being someone out there who knows far too much about me. I shall disembark and see if I can't track down this mysterious chronicler of my many misdeeds. Not to mention find my treasure. It won't be too long into it till we meet again.
Wait. We are not alone. You know you cannot hide from me, Jack Sparrow.
I wasn't hiding. I was eavesdropping. Vastly different pastimes.
There him stand. Another pirate who's twice come back from the land of the dead. Who escaped the raid on Isla Tesoro and even found the Fountain of Youth.
Hey, have you been gossiping about me with this strange, book-obsessed individual? Whatever they've told you, it's not true. Unless it's flattering, in which case, it's all true, but they left out the best bits.
The man who stole the only trinket that can reach Davy Jones. A pendant twin to the one Jones himself possesses.
How can you know all this? That pendant?
Belongs to me.
You can't be.
Aye, This time it was to see what brought you back to me, Jack.
Theodolma! Calypso! Shouldn't you be floating on a cloud or bubbles, or whatever it is sea goddesses do? And while I'm asking the questions, am I alive or am I not? I look like a ghost. I can turn invisible, yet I can still touch my belongings.
The Sea of Thieves is a hunting place. It bestows many gifts, even upon the dead. That is why I followed the Black Pearl here. To protect these sacred waters from Davy Jones and that which follow him. That is all the answers I have. Now you must listen. Davy Jones knew that the pirates of this world threaten him plans. So him summoning his own dark version of a brethren court, made of those cruel and corrupted souls who long to rule the Sea of Thieves. If him succeed, him power will be greater than ever before.
This is why I love running to old friends. They always have such cheery news. Ha! But if Jones is inviting his friends for tea, that means we know where to find him. And, by the by, my treasure.
You speak the truth. And since you still hold the key to his fortress, with my sketches you can find your way inside. Think of what you want most, Jack Sparrow. It will show you the way.
Right, well, given that these are unfamiliar waters, and I lack a ship with which to sail upon them, critical decisions must now be made. You will always remember this is the day your crew was joined by Captain Jack Sparrow. Now, I know that's a great honor to bestow upon a humble vessel such as yours. Don't you worry. I promise you won't be an imposition. Theodolma, about that treasure, if it was entrusted to Davy Jones, that can only mean...
Hush! There are some truths not ready to be told. Their time will come when a deed is done. Now make sail with it, Jack, and be swift.
Oh, well then, see you aboard. It seems we have a long journey ahead of us, so I took the liberty of helping myself to some provisions. Now, Jones's fortress is practically off the edge of the map. But not to worry, my compass knows the way. Well, shall we? Mermaid's Hideaway. I met a mermaid once. Nice girl. Bit naive, yet still fierce. Interesting combination. The Reaper's hideout. Not much of a hideout if you put it on the map, eh? The Shores of Gold. I like the sound of that. Let's go there next. Devil's Ridge, the Devil's Roar, the Devil's Thirst. Once again proving that pirates are an unimaginative lot when it comes to naming things. How can it be the Lost Gold Fort if everyone knows where it is? Not feeling chatty, eh? Fine by me. Never seen it done that way before. I miss my treasure. Now, how I came by it, that's a tale. Drop something! Very small. Remind me to tell you how I got this hat. Davy Jones won't give up without a fight. Strange clouds in these parts. She's no pearl, but we'll make do. Any chance we could catch a bit more wind? In case you were curious, it's not so bad being a ghost. I could get used to this. Judging by the aquatic architecture and air of general menace, I'd say we've come to the right place. And as no one is firing at us, it seems we've managed to retain the element of surprise. Let's not waste it, shall we? Let's make use of the tradesman's entrance, This humble trinket once belonged to Theodolma, a twin to the one Jones possesses, and the key to his most valuables. My crew found it on the deck of the Pearl after Tia was released, shall we say. What matters is this got me inside another of Jones's strongholds once before. Let's just hope he hasn't changed his tune. Not surprising. Jones assumes I'm dead and lost for all eternity, adrift on an ocean of forsaken souls. so he hasn't bothered to change the locks. Frankly, I find that rather insulting. Normally, I'd say a pirate's place is above the waves. But we don't seem to have much of a choice.
There's a resting place just up here, isn't it?
Mind your step, though. It's slimy and treacherous. Reminds me of the Commodore I once knew. Ah! Did you see me swim straight through that door? Wonder if I'll come into possession of any other ghostly talents. It's no good. I can't move things with my mind. Shame. What about... No, that doesn't work either. Would have been great fun, though. It seems my newfound skills are limited to turning invisible and walking through walls. Once I get my treasure back, I'm heading straight to the nearest bait ball. There you are. I was starting to think you'd taken a tumble. Not everyone's as steady on their feet as I am. She may be crewed by a gang of antisocial shellfish, but this vessel is nothing if not perilous. Powerful, too. She was fast enough to follow the Black Pearl when we crossed the horizon with my treasure, and scuppered us before we knew it was what. Although, if the Dutchman sailed inside this fortress, she must possess some means of opening that big door over yonder. All we have to do is find it. There was a time this ship had a proud mission and a noble purpose. But that was long ago. Still, let's not disturb what we mustn't. Let's keep moving, shall we? Jones never leaves the Dutchman for long. I don't think anyone's aboard. Shall we have a look around? Better let me. This ship has a nasty habit of making those aboard her part of the furniture. This, mate, is the inner sanctum of the most vengeful creature to sail the seas. And that spot right there is where I swipe the treasure out from under the nose he doesn't have. If we don't get it back, this will never be over. And again, statues. It'll take more than one wee pendant to get them singing. Now, this is either very old sheet music or Davy Jones's secret recipe for liver and onions. See if you can make heads or tails of it. It's working. Now we just need to wait for the song to end, and... assuming we survive that long, I may have been slightly mistaken about this ship being deserted. How long does it take to open a door? Fire! Fire again! The boom isn't nearly as terrifying from this perspective. I think the crew want their ship back. Why, my head! If Jones didn't know we were here before, he most certainly does now. I suggest we disembark before he sends anyone else to offer us a warm welcome. Let us find out where that door leads, eh? As charming as this chamber admittedly is, this waterfall does present a conundrum. Allow me to assist via my newly discovered intangible, my invisible, that thing I do where I walk around the thing. Boy, seems the sirens have been collecting trophies. Just hope the Pearl's been spared such a fate. She deserves far better. Well, that's lost to time. Just like everything else down here. Ah, listen to this. For 7 sunsets, the sirens pursued us across these cursed waters, swaddling our ship in their song. The sound was beautiful, hauntingly so. But the carvings I found have shown me the truth. Theirs is a song of sorrow for all that they have forgotten. Their home, their kin, their past. The melodies of these truths have slipped into shadow. replaced long ago by lamentations of the lost. No wonder Jones controls the sirens. His song is also one of sorrow for things past. I don't suppose Sir Zorma, Calypso, happened to mention it to you, but they used to be close. He served 10 years aboard the Dutchman just to spend one day at her side. When she didn't honor her part of the bargain, well, let's just say it made him the thing he is today. Right, that's enough of that. This place is full of forgotten treasures. There might be something we can use inside one of these wrecks. Ooh, now that's very shiny. And there's an entire box with the seal intact. If I could just... No, doesn't matter. I'll come back later. This looks like it could be important, or at the very least, valuable. Why don't you take it and scout ahead while I continue the search? Who knows what else Jones has buried down here?
What is that infernal noise? That's an infernal noise to you, mate. Jack Sparrow! You will not claim your prize a second time. Gold Hoarder, begin the ritual. They must not interfere.
Not interfere.
Oi! I'll never get my treasure back while he's this well guarded. We'll have to thin out their ranks first. Try to lure them into my sight. It cannons to sped. I can see more supplies, but reaching them's another matter. Look lively down there and find a way to drop this mast. That's it. That's the spot. Now, hold her steady. What's this? Gold? No, ammunition. Almost as good. Here, you'd better have these. Ah! Suppose making friends is out of the question. I can see more supplies. Just need to get to them. Don't have all the fun without me. I know you're terribly busy, but I really could use a hand with this mast. I'd love to help, really, but I can't do anything from here. That's more like it. Here's your share of the spoils. I suggest using them quickly. Bad. Very bad. Extremely bad.
Enough! The ritual must not be disturbed. Gold Hoarder, dispose of them yourself.
I obey.
If you tell anyone about this, I'll deny it. Now, get me down! I have another plan, and this time it's a good one. You should probably stand back. Now these should give old Squid Breath something to worry about. Fire! Fire the cannon! Fire everything!
Stand your ground, Gold Hoarder. Triumph is moments away.
Get out of the way, you great golden git! Baby Jones is what we've done.
On go.
Did we win? This doesn't much feel like winning. And there's no sign of Jones. Also, no sign of my treasure. I have the disheartening sensation that we might not have stopped this little ritual after all. Well, at least we have one less member of this dark brethren to worry about.
The Flying Dutchman has set sail, and the dark brethren follow in its wake. You must return to me.
You'd best jump down and find your ship, mate. Let's meet back at Teodolma's camp. I've got a nasty feeling things are far from over.
Jack! You're a slightly ethereal sight for sore eyes. Still, I can't help noticing a particular trinket is somewhat conspicuous by its absence.
Aye. That's because Jones and his new friends still have it. Seems he used it in some sort of ritual before escaping back to the Dutchman. Extremely ungentlemanly behavior, of which I heartily disapprove.
With the treasure's power in his clutches, Davy Jones and the Dark Brethren can move freely between worlds. They plan to sail to the Sea of the Dams just as you did, to take it over and destroy the ferryman.
And if that happens, only pirates who swear an oath to Jones will be allowed back from the land of the dead.
But that means he control everything. It'll be the end of this place for sure.
And what are we supposed to do about all this? Jones has a whole fleet now, and we don't even have a ship!
Well, I, for one, intend to get my treasure back, even if I have to swim for it. Fortuitously, there's a speedier alternative available. You! I'm commandeering your vessel and all who sail aboard her for essential pirate business. Besides, you've got as much of a score to settle with Jones as I.
Aye, it may be a lost cause. But if anyone can win a fight for pirates, it'll be Sea of Thieves pirates. Still, there's a mite bit of ocean to cover, and we've only one ship. Where would we start?
The doorway to the Sea of the Damned was opened from this world, and now it must be closed the same way. But to find it, we need something special. Something touched by the hand of David Jones.
But we ain't got nothing what belongs to Jones. Our safety holes in our pockets, that is.
Wrong. I have something. Thought I might use it to open up a coconut.
I will always find you, David Jones.
Well, now that we have our heading, it's time we set sail. Meet me in your ship's cabin, wherein I shall be hard at work strategizing a strategy. And then forth we shall sally. Savvy?
Aye, and we'll see if we can't muster up some help at the outpost. Good fortune, and a fair wind to us all.
Go. This is the last chance to stop Davy Jones. If we do not put an end to the Dark Brethren, the light of freedom will vanish from this world forever.
Couldn't do it without me. Honor. Listen, mate. I've been thinking about what Theodormus said. That the door Jones opened can only be closed from this side. If that's true, he'll not have left it unguarded. Now, I'm a man very much accustomed to thinking on his feet. But even I'm inclined to stock up on provisions before we sail to almost certain death. Plenty of planks, cannonballs, that sort of thing. Best not to head into battle empty-handed. When we win, we'll celebrate for days. Maybe a week. Not sure you could handle a month. When I first came here, all that mattered was escaping Jones's wrath. It never occurred to me this might be a place worth running towards. But Gibbs is right. Pirates here are different. They don't just fight for gold, power, glory. They fight for freedom to choose. And that's the freedom no one can ever be allowed to take away. Oh, I see. Sentimental sort of, eh? Well, enough of that. We have a war to win and a sea to sail. Far be it from me to doubt the wisdom of the sea goddess, but are we absolutely certain that this is the right cloud? Frankly, I don't think it looks much like James.
You're too late, Jack Sparrow!
On reflection, I suppose there is a passing resemblance. Not to state the obvious, but it appears those watery witches have returned to lend Jones their power.
foul have we here? Forgotten sailors, forsaken by the ferryman, and marooned in the sea of the damned. They've pledged their allegiance to me, and I've promised them dominion over the world of the living. They will defend the spire until my work is done.
He always was a persuasive squid. Ready the cannons! What's that bobbing over there? Either I've still got water in my ears, or something very bad is about to make an appearance. Boy, that's louder than Righetti's bagpipes. Though at least there's a tune. We'd best keep a safe distance if we want our brains to remain safely inside our skulls. We can most definitely use those supplies. It's all about trajectory, mate. That was courtesy of Captain Jack Sparrow. Never say no to the edge. There's more where that came from. Watch, you might learn something. I could do this all day. Ah, a perfect shot. A hit. Not on us. That enough for you, Jonesy? Hey? Looks like someone dropped their cargo. Provisions! In the water! Let's try for another. A few more like that and it's back to the east. Hate to see a ship go down. Today I'll make it captured. We can't let it heal itself. Did I just say that? I'm in a pile of rocks! I'm in a pile of rocks!
Jack Sparrow, you finally recognize the hopelessness of your predicament.
Much as I hate to credence told Squidbeard affair, he does have a point. We are becoming significantly outnumbered.
Do not lose. Not while a light still shines in the darkness. The sea of the damned is a land of memories. Some good, some bad. Now then start to creep toward this world. Shall I refresh your memory, Jack Sparrow?
No need. Lucky for us, I have an excellent sense of recall. Just hope I restore. If we sail together, our ships should be able to destroy the rest of these squalling statues. I hereby relinquish command of your vessel. Oh, thanks for the office. Back to you, scabbard dogs. Captain on deck. Raise the anchor and then load those cannons. Follow me tomorrow. Are you lumps always this odorous? You, bosun, put that fishing rod down and get to work. Splash some water on the crew while you're at it. Keep firing! That's the way! Keep a safe distance! Destroy them! Quickly! Again! Again! Don't let her escape! Reload the gun! Stay on their stern! Don't let them repair! Keep at them!
Parley?
According to the code set down by Morgan and Bartholomew...
Do you not see, my sweet Calypso? You cannot invoke the right of parley, because, my dear, you are not a pirate. You are a monster, as am I.
Then the man I love is truly dead.
And no one shall be left to mourn his passing. Do you see where your courage has led you, Jack Sparrow? You and your friends shall die here alone.
2 issues, mate. 1, I happen to already be dead.
And 2, Captain Jack Sparrow and his friends are not alone. The captains of the damned have heard your call, Calypso, and are prepared to heed it. We shall sail together!
And we shall never bow to tyrants, no matter how powerful they may be.
Especially not when they stink like a dead squid. We're coming for you, Jones!
Form up behind the Black Pearl! It's time we showed this dark brethren what it really means to be a pirate.
Just a moment. As leader of this motley alliance, facing an enemy of unimaginable power, I feel it incumbent upon me to deliver some sort of inspiring speech. Let's go and seek them all! Stay on their stern! You're the only one who can put a stop to that spire, man! That spire is the source of James's power. What say you destroy it? Calypso's lighting to crack the spire. Now you can get inside! Careful climbing that spire. You'll find the whistle there. We'll be fine, mate. Just get inside that spire. Steady as she goes. That was for the Kraken, you slimy git. Everyone grab a rope! Good shot, if I say so myself. Wish I do. Oh, I hope that hit the piebald. Not bad for a crew of ghosts. Well done. Now let's do it again. Everyone all right? What's the damage? Watch our heading. Only true pirates fit to sail with Captain Jack Sparrow. Whose carriage? Gibbs, I see you've salvaged the Pearl. Excellent work.
Aye, well, it was mostly the doing of the merfolk, truth be told. They're quite marvelous creatures here.
Oh, well then, I'll take my compliment back. Prepare to make sail, you lazy wretches.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Jones? And what about the treasure we was after? And why is the captain still dead?
Young man, I believe your questions are about to be quite conclusively answered.
Fear not the wrath of Davy Jones. He's my prisoner now, and bound to the very vessel he sought to destroy. A fitting fate. With the Dark Brethren scattered and their ambitions at an end, I believe it is now safe to return this treasure to the hands of one who died defending it. I have weighed the worth of 1,000,000 souls, and yet I misjudged you, Jack Sparrow, and acted rashly. Such was my desire to prevent calamity. You captains of the damned have shown great courage, and deserve a second chance at a pirate's life.
That's better. And all the best bits seem to be in the right places. Well, I've just got my ship back, and we've just rescued everyone from certain doom. I'd say that entitles us to public adoration, free refreshments, and some grand adventures out and about on this freshly saved Sea of Thieves. Where do we start?
Remember, Jack, you made her a promise.
I'm afraid Theodore was correct. I have some unfinished business that must, unfortunately, take precedent over any revelry in the immediate futurity.
Be that as it may, Jack, we're still a bit short-handed.
Excellent point. Our next destination lies beyond the horizon. Any pirates, formerly deceased or otherwise, who wish to throw themselves headlong into grand fun, battling unknown perils, are welcome to join the crew of the Black Pearl.
That's a tempting offer, Captain, but my place is here. Protecting the Sea of Thieves from the likes of Davy Jones and the Dark Brethren. I will take my leave of you.
My crew and I, likewise, have promises that remain unfulfilled. Now that we're back on the seas, it's time to make amends. Safe journey, Captain. Whatever your destination may be.
Well, I'm not missing out on fighting unknown dangers in distant lands. Sign me up.
Me too. As if I'd let you sail off without me.
Suppose you and I should part ways for now. After all, someone needs to stay and keep this place lively for me till I return, eh? And trust me, I will return, mate. Or my name isn't... well, you know the rest. Look lively, you lot! We've got a horizon to cross! Get that anchor raised! Hands to braces! And someone, please, strike up a tune.